Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's first topic, there seems to be some clashing between the NFL and NASCAR fans. Look, guys, you know, this is more of a serious topic, right? I came out about 4 days ago, 3-4 days ago. And I made an episode pretty much about how Lamar Jackson is covered. Now, I want you to understand that this is not something like, oh, you don't want to talk about Lamar. No, because if you're on Twitter, if you're on social media, you saw what happened, the backlash between his Trademark battle with Dale Earnhardt Jr. And guys, mind you, this stuff happens all the time. For context, people it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I remember living out here in Florida, there was a guy that kind of did a circle and he was cleaning carpets. It was 3 circles. And Disney saw it and said, yo, that looks a little too much like Mickey Mouse. And made him change his logo. Mind you, he was only here, Charlotte County. It's not like it's a big place, right? But he started gaining here, enough to where he got a commercial, everything else, and Disney said, nope. Now, the number 8, or the way it's made, I guess, the stylized of it, like, you know what I'm saying? I guess Lamar was like, look, you know what I'm saying? It's too close to mine. And a lot of people took problems with that, like had a problem with that. I took issue with it. Like, how dare you speak to Dale Earnhardt Jr.? He's able to use it any which way he wants. He's older than you, NASCAR star, everything else. And you started seeing and hearing a lot of the ignorant comments coming out. And then guess who was in those comments? Buffalo fans. Just want to throw that out there because I know a lot of Buffalo fans get mad at me, but it's like a large percentage of your fan base be doing ridiculous things, saying ridiculous stuff. But this whole thing spiraled into a social media firestorm where you started to hear racial connotations being used towards Lamar, and you started hearing how Earnhardt was already there and Lamar's stealing it. Ain't that how it always is? Like, that type of connotation was being. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, now you got to turn your ear to that. It was trending. But it goes to a bigger problem, and I keep saying this, right? I keep saying this. The media is behind 99.9% of this vitriol pointed at that man. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because what do I say religiously on this channel, right? Perception shapes truth. Truth becomes reality. That's how powerful the media is. So what happens is, because he's so maligned in the media, and because they're always, oh, you know what I'm saying, the way that they cover him, ignorant, you know what I'm saying, braggadocious, like all these ways to describe him as a person on and off the field, and all these other words that they use, it shapes his perceptive character, and people gravitate towards negativity. I want you to understand where I'm going with this. You see, if I'm the media right now, and let's say I'll use one of the YouTubers, let's say Ropod, Hendo, right? Let's say I say, yo, and I'm the biggest one. Let's say I'm everywhere, but Hendo's up and coming. You have a couple of them up and coming, right? And I go, yo, you know, that man Hendo, he's just, everything about him is amazing. What he does is great. He's a literal glimmering hope to his community. But then when I see Lunch Break or Coach, I'm like, you know, they're good, but, you know, it's just the way that they dress, the way they act, You know what I'm saying? I can't really understand some of the stuff that they say. And man, it's just the way they come off. Like, what they really shouldn't be doing this. They should be doing something else. But I guess they're gonna try to force their way into this and be proven that they should be doing something else. You know what happens when you keep hearing that on replay over and over and over and over again? It starts to shape your perception. It's like the ocean chipping away at the rock until the ocean dictates how that rock is shaped, how that rock is now jagged, how it is aligned, how it is placed. I talk on these things because it's uncomfortable conversations, yes, but it's conversations nonetheless that need to be talked about. The media does these jobs, and I keep saying that they pick and choose who will be considered their champions and who will be considered their villains. There's no in-betweens. None. There is none. And Lamar Jackson is undoubtedly the villain. The villain. And you've seen it even during the MVP race with Josh. It got so bad during that time that you had guys coming on television saying, oh, I talked to Lamar and he doesn't even care about it. Like, he doesn't even worry about it. So if he's not worried about it, let somebody else win it. And it's like, but then would give nothing but adulation to Josh Allen. Then you see that ESPN does a piece highlighting all of Josh Allen's accolades for this season, and then without changing it, takes the two of the biggest accolades that Lamar accomplished and placed it in there and said, nah, it was Josh Allen that did this. And people will believe it. They'll eat it up. There will be topics written on and everything believing that. Until it's like, no, he didn't. It's like, yo, who started this? How did you not know? It's like listen, y'all know where I'm going with this. Remember the Sierra thing when we were younger? Y'all know what I'm talking about. When everyone's like, oh, Sierra's really a man. And you remember that crazy rumor when we were kids that went around and everyone's like, oh, John, she a man and everything else. Where did that even come from? The crazy thing is, you might think that I was singular. When you go on the internet, you find out everybody heard about it. And it was something that people believed for decades. Well, for a decade. Sierra got how many kids? But they believed it because it was being pushed. The media put, somebody sitting in the media, our young minds take, and it just spread like wildfire to where that was what we thought and believed. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. You're never going to change racist people's mindsets. You're never going to change them. Why? Because they don't want to be changed. They're ignorant. They're happily ignorant. They're willfully ignorant. They're blissfully ignorant. But to see how some of these words are being spewed over a trademark disagreement, mind you, this stuff happens all the time. And that's why I try to tell you, notice anything with Lamar, it makes front page news. People start covering it. It's everywhere. And it's like, they did it when he was going against, what's his name from the Dallas Cowboys, the old quarterback from there. I forgot his name. He's always in the broadcasting booth. You know what I'm saying? And now him, because if you had the number 8, he's like era 8. 8. It's just even down there when me and Ingraven were allowed to interview him, his place, it says, have you ate yet? And it's a number 8. Everything is 8. So that's why I understand it. This is stuff that happens in business. But to then ridicule the man and make it a racial problem, a racial thing, bruh, that's why I try to tell y'all why I speak up on certain things. Because y'all would get, a lot of people would get annoyed by it and be like, Nitro, talk about something. But it's like, bro, you don't see what's being, there has to be a counter to it. It just can't be, now we're just going to keep throwing this all at you. There has to be a dam. It has to be something, an opposing force pushing back the other direction. Or it just becomes a tsunami. I'm dead serious. Some of the stuff, and I'll be real with you, the internet has made a lot of people real comfortable. Because I'll be real with you, a lot of the stuff that some of these people say out the side of their necks, side of their mouths, it's like you feel safe because you're behind a computer and we don't know where you are. But it's like some of you wouldn't say it to somebody's face because you get your teeth knocked down your throat. You get introduced with the right hand of fellowship very quickly. And it's funny how some people will go out there and think that, and once they get checked, they learn real quick, like, I ain't doing that again. They learn their lesson. It's like, bro, like, you calling a man a monkey and all this different type of stuff like that. It's like, yo, y'all really don't respect y'all jaw. I promise, I don't feel sorry. They're like, oh, it's just words. It's like, no, it's not. You deserve to get your jaw checked. I'm not being some fan of Lamar. I'm saying this straight up. Like, that's the problem with society. Y'all feel too comfortable of saying anything. Of anything. And there's no repercussions for your actions. And a lot of y'all need to start facing more repercussions for your actions. Then you will learn, I think the internet will be a cleaner place. If the internet was a place where you could see whoever's talking, and it would come up like, oh, they live in this country, this state and everything else, and you could see their face, the internet would be such a pleasant place. Be such a pleasant place. It really would. Cowards. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Shouldn't even be news. But then it becomes news somehow because it's him, because of all the negativity that's always covered around Lamar Jackson. And then on top of it, y'all make it racial. And everyone's like, well, it's NASCAR. Like, bro, wasn't he just at NASCAR taking pictures and the fans were all excited to see him and everything else? I'm not even going to go there on that, but whatever. You know how it is. I'm letting you know. But I was going to cover it. I don't care if it's uncomfortable. Facts are facts. Absolutely deplorable. Nasty work. But what do you guys think? Did you hear about the disagreement with the Air 8 and everything else? And what do you think how people eschew the character of a Lamar in media and how these things happen because of the media? Let me know what you think down in the comments, please. All right? But as always, that's an episode of the Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. I know we get down, we have fun, and we laugh. But everything we talk about, we do what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And guys, check out the Wunderkind Morning Show. Yes, live Monday through Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., where we cover all topics, sports topics specifically also. And at the end of every show, we have a little bit of nostalgia from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, where we smile and laugh about the golden days, and it helps you get through your day. So be there, be squared, okay? Also, if you would like to donate to the channel, help out with equipment and such stuff like that, bottom of the screen, there's a QR code. QR code's to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. You know what I'm saying? So do that, please. All right, if you want to help out. So that's the episode of The Wunderkind Show. This show is not just signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yerp.
Finish him, Daddy.